Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Before I click on the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like if you would each and every time you watch the daily Tesla report or daily Apple report, and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. And if you would, please share the content with friends and colleagues. So you know that I like to start with the big picture and work my way into the day. So this chart shows that following a test of this targeted 80-60 to 92-30 channel structure that was in early January, had been an objective for about, I say a month or so. And then on the way back up, anticipating a retest and possible failure in this 150s channel structure. But that didn't happen. Positive earnings pushed this market above that area, and we wound up closing above it about a month ago. That set off a 2 to 3 month buy signal to 249.85, which is this long-term channel top. So the channel base was tested that was in early January, and now the channel top is expected as a 2 to 3 month target. We are a month into that buy signal and about probably 60% of the way on to reaching our objective. We may actually see that over the next few weeks, which leads to this chart here. So now we're talking the 2 to 3 week time frame, and with respect to the 2 to 3 week time frame, it could also be a day trade level if we test the 187.67 to 191.26 area. This is trend defining support over the 2 to 3 week time frame. Now, following that low in January, the rally, that momentum, following the buy signal also above the 150s I showed a minute ago, the momentum of that remains intact above 187.67, which is a rising 1/3 speed line that is based in part on Thursday's high. If we were to push through Thursday's high today, we would need to reconstruct that speed line. This channel structure at 191.26, horizontal channel structure over the last couple of weeks of activity, this range is good pullback support for not only the day, not only the week, but even into March trade, because we can bottom out here, and from here within 1 to 2 weeks at the most, I'd say possibly 3 to 5 days, we could test this 221.25 longer term 3/8 Fibonacci. And within 2 to 3 weeks of testing the upper 180s, low 190s, this 251.06 objective likely within 2 to 3 weeks. So we are 2 to 3 weeks, I think, away from reaching that 251.06 longer term channel top, which is in the upper 240s on that weekly chart I showed a moment ago. This is a good image also of that Fibonacci level that we came close to testing last Thursday at 221.25. It is a 3/8 from AB. A is the all-time high from November of 21. B, the more recent January low. There's also, and I've added 224.90. Now, if we close above 221.25, yes, that is a sign of strength. But, in terms of just more for safekeeping, the possibility of having a head fake here, I'm going to show you, and I don't have it illustrated, but there is a trend line. And you can see, if you've been a watcher of the Tesla report since really October, November, I was talking about this head and shoulders formation, a very rough head and shoulders formation, certainly not textbook, but you've got a left head, you've got left shoulder, you've got the head and the right shoulder. And the trend line or the neckline can be shown here from this low to cross these lows from last May. I think that was early summer. So if you take a trend line off these lows, it comes across at 224.90. And so on an intraday basis anyway, this 224.90 may well contain intraday buying pressures. If you want to go long secondarily above 221.25, closing above 221.25, you don't have a strong argument from me. But for those of you who just would rather be a little more safe than sorry, it could be a settlement above 224.90. In any event, closing above the lower 220s, lower to mid 220s, should yield that 251.06 by the end of next week. So if we close today above 221.25 and 224.90, by the end of next week, I would expect to reach this 251.06 target. And this long-term channel top can contain buying through the second quarter, and we can fall off from here in a meaningful way. If we were to close above 251.06 in the coming weeks, that would be a significant buy signal into the second quarter and quite possibly into later year. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Tesla report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. Let's talk downside. Let's talk the day itself. I haven't actually covered that very well. So 209.95, I don't have it shown, but if you can imagine Thursday's high, which is the move high following the January low, against Friday's low, just those 2-day extremes, 5/8 back up to the upside is 209.95. We did not test that on Friday afternoon. We may have if there had been more time left, but we topped out at 208.44. Yes, there is that 208.24 Fibonacci level I've been talking about for weeks. I'm beginning to disregard that a bit. It's just a minor point. It may be added later, but for the day itself, 209.95 I think is our upward pivot point. And if we push or open today above 209.95, the 221.25 level in reach today, the start of a range up to 224.90 that can absorb weekly buying pressures, and we could fall off from here back into the upper 280s, low 290s again by the end of next week or sooner. Closing once again above 224.90, this targeted 251.06, 2 to 3 month objective, 2 to 3 week objective above 187.67 may well be realized inside of 3 to 5 days. 251.06, a big test for Tesla. Downside today, 199.79 can contain intraday selling. If we break 199.79, I do think this 187.67 to 191.26 region in reach today. This is a good zone to buy if you're a day trader, if you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader, and a 2 to 3 week position trader. All of them are relevant for those time frames. But if we were to close below 187.67, then momentum reverses over the 2 to 3 week time frame, expecting then this 144.80 rising 2/3 speed line. If you close below a rising 1/3 speed line, the rising 2/3 speed line becomes your next objective, and I would give this a couple of weeks. And in the interim, this rising 144.80 winds up converging with this long-term support area once again that are presently in the 150s, low 160s. So that is another way of saying that if we close below 187.60, we are merely retesting this long-term band of channel support that on the daily chart is presently between 152.61 and 161.02, and that this rising 2/3 speed line will converge with over that time frame. So closing below 187.67, the 150s, you call it the low 150s in reach, expected within a couple of weeks. Under that scenario of closing below 187.67, I'm going to go to this chart here. You could consider buying 150 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a few weeks. You might go further out to preserve delta. Inversely, option traders here, if we're bottom picking 187.67 to 191.26, you could buy 221 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a week or two. This would be the short-term play. If we dip into the upper 180s, low 190s, you could consider buying 250, 245 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a few weeks. And the further you go out, you're going to spend more money on that option, but you're going to preserve delta because you're going to be less susceptible to that time decay element or theta. So I do think that that kind of rounds it out for today. I hope this has been helpful to you in your Tesla trading. Please click like and subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We offer a lot of analysis that you never see on YouTube on a daily basis and weekly basis. And so I'm going to leave it at that. You have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.